What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. There is a very real fear running through the Yu-Gi-Oh community right now that my cards, they're about to become worthless because there's no regionals, there's no YCSs, everything's canceled. What are my cards going to be worth if I can't play them? Now, I want you guys to look through every single aspect that I have since the news dropped. It dropped on my live stream when I was doing a 24-hour stream during round 1 of the tournament of all places when we were doing the Tournament of Madness. And when I look at the news that dropped, I immediately went, oh no, this is pretty bad with the USA following suit with Europe. And also a YCS that people flew out to Brazil to getting canceled with so many people there, 600 people pre-registered or something like that. So I'm looking at these statistics and I'm like, this is bad. This is definitely gonna leave a bad taste in some people's mouth. They're not going to enjoy the experience of having gone out there. But I think there is a bit of understanding to be had here. Konami's in a position where they can be looked at as, this was your fault, this was your event, this was your thing that was being done. I think they made the right move to cancel these events, but there definitely should have been more consideration with Brazil. Now, when I look at this is what has everybody panicking. We have no regional qualifier scheduled through April 6th now, because anything scheduled up till then is now off. And then we're going to keep an open ear and see maybe even further cancellations. I was planning to go to this event. This is what I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh for. This is what I was buying cards for. I wanted to go to the top. I think over 90% of active Yu-Gi-Oh players plus, and that's honestly a conservative number, it's probably a higher percent that do not go to regionals. I think they just go to the local scenes. They go, yeah, you have fun at regionals. I don't want to get in a 3-hour card ride. I come over here in the weekend because it's convenient. Locals are where Yu-Gi-Oh thrives, and even some locals right now are trying to figure out their approach. They're just going to make things safer. When it comes to things closing down, Walmarts, a lot of them are no longer 24 hours. They're shutting down at night to clean things up. My gym is doing the same thing, which is pretty frustrating versus my current content schedule. They're closing at midnight. They're a 24-hour gym, and they deep clean until like 6 o'clock in the morning. I honestly think that them gathering people together like that, by the way, is going to push more people in the same room at the same time and cause the spread even worse. If that's a thing with the crush card, we're going to call it in this video, you know, the virus card. I think when we look at this, though, there's an over panic, and the market speaks to actually the opposite of what people are scared of. Apollosa, we showed her at 105 just a week ago, with meta prices cooling off while everyone's looking at dual overload. She's towards 118. Here's another example. Oh, John, lightning storm starting to fall. Should I be scared? Should I be selling my cards right now? Do you know what $5 over 130 is? Let's actually break out the calculator. I know, science and maths. If we have $5 over 130, what is that percent? 3.8? Yeah, 3.84. When we look at numbers like these, they're not alarming. What's alarming is other kind of things like Bitcoin, and I get why you would compare Yu-Gi-Oh to something like this if you've looked around, but look at Bitcoin's fall off. We have 7.9 down into 4.8 in a single day. Boy, that must have felt bad. So when you're looking at a fallout like this could just have naturally happened. This is just, I guess, special editions came out. There's more unlimiteds. There's more copies running around, and first edition people want to make their sales too. Look, a lot of unlims are actually listed higher. People are just like, nah, I'm good, I'll wait. There's not really panic selling going into Yu-Gi-Oh right now because first off, the news extends till April. I personally think there will even be a further extension for certain places and events because the large gatherings that are being choked out and restricted are state by state. Certain states are putting restrictions and saying, I have to approve your gathering over 100 people, 1,000 people. It really just depends where. And that's eventually going to go away. What they're trying to prevent is a mass flood of people into hospitals where the hospitals are too full to take care of people. It is an overreaction, but at the same time, it's a preventative measure. Yu-Gi-Oh thrives during economic decline, and we have proof of that in history with Dark Armed format. Dark Armed format was during the 2008 recession, while other collectible industries got destroyed. Dark Arm Dragon and all of his buddies and cards like Crush Card Viruses, remember paying $350 for those. You had Dark Arms at 250s, even spiking to over 300 at the room. I believe it was in Costa Mesa. Was it Costa Mesa? It was in California, the 50th YCS. And when we look at that market, it was during one of the worst times in recent American economic history. Yu-Gi-Oh! Your cards, and I said this in a previous video, are worth every single currency that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is played in. Even certain cards like in American print are worth more in Japan depending on their rarity. They love them, their ultimate rare Sky Striker Ace monsters, which I guess, you know, we're surviving over on that ban list over there. When we look at this, you can turn your US dollar card into yen, into pounds, into euros, into different things. And even if events are being, you know, held back, this thrives through the local scene. Casual does not mean broke, and we've learned that on the market more than anybody. Look at the the Dragon Maids, right? I can just type Dragon Maid. Look at these. Like, casual does not mean broke by any means, and nobody's just yeeting their cards out the window. Now, panic markets do induce other people to panic sell. I think people are gonna be stupid. I should get ahead of them. I'm gonna sell. Oh, well, I'm gonna undercut this guy. When you have all the panic sellers come together, we see that in Yu-Gi-Oh's own economy with something like Millenniumizer Strict that actually recently got bought out. Like Millenniumizer Strict, you know, people panic sold this and then they're like, wait, I need that for Master Rule 4. Wait, bro, can I get that back? I think I should be playing that for competitive players. Like, panic selling actually happens within our own ecosystem. And if you think the whole market's going to bite into that, I've got some bad news for you if you already sold your deck. It's not what's going to happen to Yu-Gi-Oh! You might see, in general, a market cool off now, more so because people are unsure. Where will the WCQ be? Right now it's still on track, but people are scared it's going to get canceled / moved. Will it be after Battles of Legends? What cards are going to be reprinted in Battles of Legends? They're going to be hedging their bets based on this current market and not off of, I better get rid of all my cards right now. That's not what's happening. People are thinking, well, could Apollosa maybe end up in Battles of Legend, or do I think she's good till the Megatons? Will the WCQ be before the Megatons? That market literally serps thousands of copies of cards off the market, like the WCQ, and people are preparing for it because there's thousands of players that go. And I think not a lot of people are going to stay away from events because they're scared of catching this virus. We're in the age demographic mostly that plays. I'd say the average player is 22 years old that's affording to travel out to these events, that's coming together. You know, a lot of the younger players are 16 plus, and then a lot of the older players, me, boomers, are 30. We're not in the age demographic that's scared of Crush Card. We're pretty much fine. Now, what we are scared of is passing it on to our family and that sort of thing. And that's way more understandable. I think events are going to be fine once they kick back up. If anything, Konami is going to learn to take extra measures. You're not going to have governments constantly enforcing for all time that events and gatherings are... That's basically unconstitutional. Man, people are going to have their own risk assessment. They're going to learn to come together and be safer, and eventually disregard everything, and things will go back to the way they were. When I look at Yu-Gi-Oh!, I feel safe. I think it's going to be good. I'm still going to sink my money in whenever this next ban list pops up. We just had the OCG Banlist drop today. I'll probably talk about that on the live stream tonight, 7 Central, by the way. When I look at this is just going to boom the market again. The ban list is either going to drop in preparation for the Master Rule, or they're going to hold it for when events are coming back, and they're like, alrighty, we know everything's been happening, here we are, events are back, and they drop the list kind of as the announcement for that. There's multiple ways Konami can handle it. Now, I do get the comparison from some people, but I think it's a misreach of when events went away from Konami versus Upper Deck, the market completely crashed. People are comparing the no events, you know, now to this, and that's wrong. The reason people jumped ship on this is we thought the game might completely restart like Wizards of the Coast versus Nintendo, and eventually a full relaunch of the game, or not having any assurity of like any events happening, period. We thought the game might die. That's why people jump ship during this period of time. This is more just a waiting game. When are our events back? When will we get these? The events have been postponed. That means they probably plan to have a YCS Charlotte or Hartford in the future when all of this is taken care of. This is not a Yu-Gi-Oh's in trouble. This is not a, oh no, I better yeet everything out. This is fine. And I honestly give Konami props for the way they are handling this. Again, I think people going out to events, that's your own risk, and I think a lot of people are going to go ahead and do it. That being said, thanks for watching today's video. I'll be back to doing market watches and that kind of stuff. I've not uploaded for a couple days, mainly because of the 24-hour stream. Congratulations to our tournament winners, and really, thanks for coming out for that stream. I know a lot of people were jumping in. John, did you see? John, did you see? Yes, I saw. A lot of stuff's been going on. I don't think Yu-Gi-Oh's in trouble at all, though. I think we're fine, and honestly, versus every other collectible market, this is the one you want to be in while we head towards the market being so depressed.